A $5 super chat coming in here from Poppy Chulo Sits. Fantasy help. Should I spend a ton on Jerome Ford or is Hunt the guy? By the way, we filmed this on Tuesday, so before waiver wire. The video goes out on man later, but it is answered on Tuesday before it. Spend on Ford. Remember, the Browns already chose Jerome Ford over Kareem Hunt once this past offseason. They said bye, Kareem. They didn't bring him back. They did bring him in for a workout. As of filming, he has not been signed. Certainly would not be a surprise if he does get picked up. But Ford is going to be the Nick Chubb role from last year. Maybe Hunt/Pierre Strong get the other roles. Ford's not as good, but yes, you should spend, if you're doing the fab budget, spend big on Jerome Ford. Spend that waiver claim on Ford as well. Richard Lee, Jonathan Taylor to the Ravens or the Chiefs. I kind of think the Chiefs are in okay shape at running back. You know, between Isaiah Pacheco, et cetera, I think they're fine there. The Ravens could survive, but it'd be a fun addition for Lamar Jackson as well. I think the Taylor trade rumors shall return. It's a matter of, do the Colts lower their asking price? Because so far, they've asked for ridiculous returns. Now, maybe Sky Moore would be viable as a return piece there for the Colts, but the Ravens, the Colts would be asking for like Colts would be asking for like Zay Flowers based on their previous moves, which is not going to happen. They have to lower their asking price. All right, Chualor. Is Anthony Brown a good pickup for the 49ers? Look, I think it's fine. Like, I'm not concerned about that one. Anthony Brown, if he's like a number 4-ish corner, you'll be fine. He's a solid veteran. He's not a superstar player. The Cowboys defense missed him when he wasn't out there after his injury last year. I don't know how much he has left. I don't know where he is post-Achilles injury. I think he's a fine fit for what the Niners want to do on defense. If he's your 4th-ish corner, 3rd on the outside, not including nickel, I think that's fine. From Pine Fall Bumby, and Paul, Bum doesn't have a B in it. It's just Paul Fine Bumby. There's an extra B in there. Paul, at his username, that's hilarious. Who will save Kyle Pitts and trade for him? The answer is nobody. I think every fan base, minus like 5, are like, how much for Kyle Pitts? The Falcons' offense, despite Desmond Ridder being a very weird quarterback to watch, like looks great one drive, awful the next, especially early in games. It's really bad early in games. The Falcons' offense is actually good. Like, they do a good job of moving the football. They're efficient. They get Bijan Robinson involved. They run it with the best of anybody. They just don't throw it to Pitts or Drake London. I don't understand how Mac Hollins is among their leading targeters. I do not understand for the life of me. Maybe it's Ritter's fault or Arthur Smith's fault. But the Falcons are contenders-ish. And they're not great at NFC South. Like, they're not going to trade him away. I'd be shocked, frankly. So what do you think happens? Will the Falcons trade Kyle Pitts? Y for yes, N for no. Sound off for me in the comment section right now at the pinned comment of today's show. RGQ, who to start this week? Waller versus San Francisco or Hunter Henry against the New York Jets? I'm a little scared. I don't like the matchup for Darren Waller against the 49ers. I know that like you'd be like, oh, it's Darren Waller. You draft him to start, right? I get all of that. I would probably, and I can't remember saying this, I would lean towards Hunter Henry, especially in a PPR league. Especially in a PPR league. I would take Hunter Henry over Darren Waller. I think I am probably alone in that one, but I'm just a little bit anxious about Fred Warner and company really shutting down Waller and just not having much success. I think you'll see Henry get, PPR, a lot of catches, a lot of targets. So I'll take Henry in PPR, Waller in standard, because if everyone's going to have a big touchdown play, it'll probably be Waller. So different answers for different scoring. GM Evan Hinders, Clyde Edwards-Helaire to Miami for a 4th. Way too much for Clyde Edwards-Helaire. He had 1 carry yesterday. He's got 10 touches all year long. He's barely worth a 7th rounder, if that. I don't think you're going to see Edwards-Helaire go for much of anything. That was simply put it was a mispick by the Chiefs. because running backs don't put you over the top. Dolphins are a bit thin at running back. I get that. Maybe makes some sense, but not for a fourth-round selection. Have you ever wished you could navigate the battlefield with confidence of a pro in terms of betting, sports betting? Enter Odds Are. They are not a sports book, but they are the sports betting advisor you've always... It's like having a playbook for smarter bets right in your pocket. I've been loving the experience. I think you will too. NFL Daily listeners get a free 30-day trial when you go to oddsr.com/NFL Daily. Elevate your game day and join the smart betting revolution. The app is very straightforward to need. Go through the games you're thinking about picking. You'll see some of the ones from last Monday Night Football. Just like the stoplight, right? Green means go, bet on it. They were right with their green pick. Panthers, Saints, under. It hits. Red means nope, don't bet. Don't like the numbers behind it. Too risky. Yellow means we lean this way, but we're not as confident in it. A lot of red means no, let's not place that bet. You can whittle down your pool of possible bets and take the most efficient ones in the process. I'm a big fan of what Odds Are offers. You will be as well. So go get it at oddsr.com/NFL Daily. That's for a 30-day free trial. The link is in the comments section and the description of today's show. From Zombie Man, I might be wrong, but I've been thinking since McDaniel came from the Shanahan system, he's trying to turn Eric Ezukanma into Deebo Samuel 2.0. The last 2 games, he's been in the running back slot. I think McDaniel's trying to get Ezukanma the ball in creative ways. I don't think they love him as a route runner, but you saw it in the preseason too, right? He was super explosive once he had the ball. Mike McDaniel is an absolute mad scientist when it comes to his designs and play calling, and I'm a huge fan of it. Maybe not quite full-on Deebo 2.0, but I think creative ways to get your playmakers the ball is always a good thing. A super chat from Rashard Lee, $2. Any bold predictions for any AFC team this season? Dolphins win the AFC East. Maybe not as bold with what we've seen through 2 games, but Bills have been bad week 1, great week 2. Patriots are going to be kind of okay-ish. They'll be competitive. I don't trust the Jets without Aaron Rodgers, so Dolphins win the AFC East and maybe get that number 1 seed even. From Brandon B., should the Jets trade for Kirk Cousins? The contract is a huge, huge problem here in terms of a trade involving Kirk Cousins, which I feel like oftentimes, many in sports media don't get how the contracts work. They have a tough time understanding it. Now, $10 million base salary isn't that bad, but it is still kind of sizable for Kirk Cousins. It makes more financial sense than Ryan Tannehill does. If Minnesota continues to lose football games, I could see it. And Minnesota could do a quick tank for like a Caleb Williams or a Drake May or whoever. I don't hate that idea. And the Jets with Kirk Cousins, they'd be a playoff team. Now, they might come up short again, but it'd be a cheaper 1-year rental of your big-name trade ideas for the Jets at quarterback. I do think Kirk Cousins makes the most sense, but the financial number is at least a little bit tricky, although it would save the Vikings a little bit of money. Being somewhat realistic here, put your trade ideas in the comments section right now. Bonus points if they're really good, but the 2's line, the points don't matter, so sound off either way. Vince, first impressions from the first-round rookie QBs, whether they're separating himself from the others, positively or negatively. I like what I've seen from Anthony Richardson. Still has some of those just scattershot accuracy moments. Can't get himself concussed. Stroud's been up and down. I am kind of worried about the Frank Reich era in Carolina. I don't know why they traded away DJ Moore. Like, they desperately need a DJ Moore caliber receiver. Like, they don't even have a Tank Dell, Nico Collins receiver. It's old-ass Adam Thielen out there. I don't love it in Carolina. I'm a little bit anxious about that spot. I think they have to get more creative. Let Bryce Young be that whip arm, quick passer. If I had to rank them, probably would rank them Richardson, Stroud, Young, but none of them have truly emerged like, yep, that's the guy. None of them quite yet. Now, if you want daily NFL content for free, you've come to the right spot. Hit that sub button. We've got free NFL videos each and every single day right here on the channel. Shock universe, the Patriots trade Mac Jones. No, you need this year to evaluate him. They've been better with Bill O'Brien. That was a very low bar to clear. I think they're still working through some of their issues, but unless their plan is to tank right now, then no. Keep Mac Jones, evaluate him, see what you have, and then make a decision at the end of the season. Cameron Brigling, I think the Chiefs receiving core outside of Kelsey will be the worst this season. I do not think so. First off, I will get this point too. The Chiefs have invested a lot in that wide receiver room. They paid MVS. They drafted Sky Moore. They traded a decent draft pick for Kadarius Toney. They've put some assets in that room. I think they have to play better. You would think it'd be easier with Mahomes at quarterback. Apparently not for whatever reason. I am not impressed by Carolina's passing game. I don't think those receivers are very good. They're not the worst in Kansas City, but I also think if we're taking away your best playmaker, it's a lot of teams that would also be in a pretty dicey situation. From Donnie, what's up with Leonard Fournette? He just might not be that good anymore. The signs of regression were there. There were whispers of him not being in shape, so I wouldn't assume that Fournette can save. I know the fantasy people go, where's Fournette? He ain't that good, guys. Like, I know people who have hoarded Leonard Fournette all season in fantasy. Doesn't make sense. Wasn't that good. Saw it with Kareem Hunt, who has, of course, Browns, etc. Like, it's just weird to me. So name a free agent who you want your favorite team to sign. Not the best options here in the middle of September, but drop a name for me if you can think of one. Dan F., if the Bears draft a quarterback in the 2024 draft, what would be, I think this means Justin Fields' best fits for him to be traded to? Seahawks, Falcons, other. I would love to see him in Atlanta. I think Arthur Smith would design a much more complimentary football game for Justin Fields if the Bears took a quarterback early in the Falcons, won like 7-8 games, and Ritter was the reason why. I think Atlanta would be an awesome landing spot for Fields. Robert Bruce, is it encouraging if the Patriots lost 2 one-score games? Should they be concerned? Pros and cons. They should have beat the Eagles, man. They had 2 prime chances, and they could not convert on them. That was disappointing. Make no mistake about it. But you've been competitive. Going to have to do better. So you're promising, but still room for growth. So not panicking, but knowing you need more as well.